This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Helping you find emotional, spiritual, and physical balance. What does your future hold? It's time to find out with Psychic Suzanna.
Well, welcome back. Yes, you are where you should be, listening to 1110 KFAB and Life with Psychic Suzanna. What is this show about? It's about growing. It's going to be our on-air college. Each week, my hopes are to bring you people that will empower you to be the best you can be in every single day of your life. We're all given all sorts of trauma and stuff to go through that is a little rough. And if by sitting here once a week listening to Life with Suzanna, you get some ideas of how to help you or your neighbor, that's what we want to do. It's all about empowering you and me to be the best that we can be in this moment of life. And tonight's guest is going to be someone that I met at the Unity Church in Omaha. That's on 90th and Maple. She is a life teacher. She has come to us from Nashville, of all places. That is Becky. But before we go to Becky, I want you to know that we will be taking your calls after we're done talking to her and get you the information you need on how to be the best over this holiday season. After we get that information, we're going to be taking your calls at 1-800-543-1110 or 558-1110. Yes, this is Life with Psychic Suzanna. You can hear me find me at psychicsuzanna.com. You can go to the Facebook and at Life with Psychic Suzanna, and you can catch all the knowledge of upcoming shows. This is where you need to be, and this is what we're going to do weekly on Air School. And right now, I want to thank you for being here, Becky.
Thank you, Suzanne. It's nice to be here.
Okay. Becky, first of all, one of the things we like to do on this show is sort of understand our spiritual, how we come to be where we are, what we do to help us feel better in this world of chaos that we're in. There's so many things that just sort of drive us a little crazy. In the field of spirituality, how did you come to be where you're at?
Oh, Suzanne, it was a very interesting journey for me. I grew up in an evangelical setting, and really came to know that the teachings that I was being exposed to didn't resonate with who I was. They just didn't feel right. So I, at a young age, started exploring and just finding that place where, well, I guess you would say that made my heart sing.
You know, I find that's a huge problem in this world. I think a lot of people, rather than finding out where their heart sings, will stay in a place where they don't feel connected. So finding that connection, I think, is one of the most important things we do in our spiritual life. What made you feel connected to where you are now?
Well, a lot of it was recognizing that, you know, as I grew up, I was taught about a God that had judgment and a God that, you know, would punish me. And I recognized that, you know, the God of my being was a God of love and acceptance. And so as I went through my journey and found ways that I realized I had to find love and acceptance for myself. And when I could do that, then I could be open to truly that outward journey. Because, you know, the journey is all about what's inside of us more than anything else.
And how would you tell our listeners to find out what is inside of them? How would you say, if you're feeling alone, if you're sitting in the back of a room and not feeling good and not loving yourself and thinking life has no purpose, how do you help someone find where they belong? What would you tell them to do?
Well, probably one of the first things is I would ask them to think about a time in which they did feel connected, a time in which they did feel that love and that peace and that joy.
What if they came back? Becky, I'm putting you on the spot
That's
here.
Okay.
What if they came back and say, you know, I'm not sure I ever felt connected. I'm not sure I ever felt loved. What would you say to them?
I would probably then ask them to look at a time in which they had some laughter. And what makes them smile now?
Oh.
What type of a thing what would make you smile right now? And then expand on that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if that's a great beginning. All right, so we have this person in the dark parts of their soul, not knowing how to connect with anyone else, and not knowing how to connect to others, and you would tell them to reach out to their past?
It may be reach out to their past, or even allowing their own imagination to find a place for them in which they really felt some joy. And, it might be something that they've seen on TV or read in a book that triggers something for them, and then expand on that. But a lot of times we have, whether we can see it at the moment or not, we have things in our past in which our hearts did sing. We just maybe didn't realize it at the moment.
And when you get into those dark spots, what makes your heart sing?
Well, I believe in meditation.
And how does one meditate? How would you suggest? For the person out there who's never meditated, what would you tell them to do?
Well, for me, it started by sitting quietly. And I'm a very visual person, so it's easy for me to shut my eyes and see something that's very special to me. I moved to the Omaha area from Nashville and spent a lot of times in the eastern part of the state around the Smoky Mountains. So I can shut my eyes and just picture those mountains and know that my heart just flips whenever I see that, and allow myself to just be in that and to imagine hearing the birds and hearing the wind through the trees or the stream. And some people, nature does that. Some people, it's imagining a child or a child's laughter. And through visualization, a lot of times we can get to that place of meditation, and then allowing that to dissipate and going into our own core and into the silence of our being and let things come out.
The silence of our being. That sounds scary, is it?
It might be at first when you're not sure what that silence unfolds, but when we allow that to come out, that's where we find what truly is our happiness core. That place where we do connect with, and by whatever name you want to call it, whether it be God or the divine or whatever name you want to use, but it is that higher power. So that's where it would reside for me, and where I recognize it is within me where it resides. And by my connection to that, then I'm able to see in that silent place.
In that silent place. I find so many people are afraid of the silence, that we keep our radios on and we turn on our TV. We don't move into another room unless there's music or something, because the quiet is what scares us.
Well,
and we become afraid of the quiet.
We're afraid of our own thoughts most of the time.
Really? So if we have those bad thoughts, if we have negative thoughts, how do we get them out of our head? What do we do? What if we think that, say we have a coworker who is bothering the crap out of us, and we have to sit next to him and be next to him. What would you tell me to do to get that coworker out of my mind and be at peace with someone or something or a family member who's driving us crazy? What would you tell me to do? Because the holidays are coming up. I'm going to be with someone who's going to drive me completely bonkers. How do I handle that family member?
And this is a very common question. That
really?
Happens a lot, because that is. People are our largest asset, but they're also sometimes our most difficult situation to deal with. Many years ago, I was involved with a program, with a study program, and teaching and helping facilitate some things. And it's about changing our world. And what it involves is changing our attitude.
Changing our attitude.
So, because once we change our attitude, it's amazing how people and things around us change. So if there's one thing about that person that drives you nuts, if there's one thing that you can find in that person that is special, that you find comfort in, or that you see that is good, then look at that and compliment that and change the way you react. And, it may be just a smile and saying something nice to that individual, because it's amazing how things will shift and how they will shift, at least in your perceptions.
Well, thank you. That we're going to use that as we go into the season. Thank you very much for stopping by. And this is Life with Psychic Suzanna at 1110 KFAB.
Psychic Suzanna.
Can't get through on the radio show? Call Psychic Suzanna anytime at 712-276-9349. That's 712-276-9349. Or visit her webpage, PsychicSusanna.com.
You are listening to Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. You can find me at PsychicSusanna.com or Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook. But we're going to be taking your calls. I'm holding Becky over so we can talk to her a little bit more. But get on the phone, get ready. We're going to talk to you, and we're going to figure out things in your life. But let's listen to Becky right after this. The number to call is 558-1110 or 1-800-543-1110. We're waiting for you. You are right on Life with Psychic Suzanna at 1110 KFAB. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look about this attitude of gratitude that we need to use over the Thanksgiving time that we're coming into. We have with us today Becky Whitehead. Becky, what's LUT after your name on your business card?
That's Licensed Unity Teacher.
Ah, okay. Got that? Let's talk about the attitude of gratitude, because as we move through this holiday season and we're coming up to this Thanksgiving, there is these thoughts of, what do I have to be grateful of? I have family members that don't care about me, don't love me. I don't have a job, and I'm certainly... I'm alone. I don't have a family member. I don't have a life partner. I don't have people who love me. I want you to look at me and pity me, darling. You just need to pity me. So how do we help those in the pity party to move past that pity party into the attitude of gratitude, which personally has saved my life? When I wake up in the middle of the night, I just go, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And then I fall back to sleep. So how do we help people who are in a great pity party with the balloons and the decorations to come back to life and understand the attitude of gratitude?
Well, one thing, and this comes from my teachings, in Unity, is rather than joining them in the party and putting on our own party hats and being in there with them and reinforcing that attitude, it's to hold a higher watch for them, to help them to find things in which to be grateful, and also to maintain our own higher level of energy and outlook, and not, to wave our wonderful things in our life like a flag for them to feel even worse, but to just, help them to see where they're wonderful. And it may be just talking about the wonderful things that they are. Maybe they're a great friend and sharing that opportunity, or maybe you've seen something in them that you see as a great gift, and maybe to shine a light on that for them.
Okay. I've had several clients come to me and say, I can't have a good Christmas. I can't have a good holiday. I have no money to buy my kids anything. I have no money. This is going to be the worst Christmas ever. What would you say to them?
I would probably step back to times in our society in which that was the norm. That the whole spirit around Christmas, the whole spirit of the holidays, is not one of what you give and what you receive monetarily or as a gift, but it's that peace that's inside of us. It's that time of celebration, just celebrating that they have children, and finding things to do together that would increase that huge gift of family that they do have. And it may be, sitting around telling stories. Because we can give gifts on many levels. It doesn't have to be something that we buy at a local store.
You got a point there. A client of mine or a friend of mine once said, it's the stories we tell each other that are the true gifts, the stories that we have in life. And I agree that sharing time with family and having family. I also agree. What about the person who says, ugh, my body. How can anybody love me? Look at my body. Oh, my God. Ugh, my God. My hair is crappy. How can people love me? How can I have the attitude of gratitude when I'm saddled with this body that may not work all the time? What did you tell them?
And, that's one that we do face a lot of times. Oh, well, each one of us, and no matter what our outward appearance is, there is that spark within us. Mm-hmm. And we can change that, and it is an attitude thing. Mm-hmm. And so I would begin working with them on shifting that attitude to something in which they find a piece of themselves that they can truly fall in love with.
Okay.
And
say
it
that
may
one
be
more time here.
to find something of themselves, to find a piece of themselves that they can truly fall in love with.
Like if they have a great nose?
If they have a great nose, if they have beautiful eyes. Mm-hmm. But if they start to fall in love with that, and one of the hardest things, and I've done this with people to get people to do, is to stand and look into a mirror and look into their own eyes and say, I love you, to themselves. Mm-hmm. And once that happens and they can start loving that one piece, that love spreads. And their whole image to themselves, and then it also carries over and becomes an outward expression, will begin to change.
Thank you very much for stopping by. This has been wonderful. Again, you have Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Becky, you've been a joy.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Hi, you're back. Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Yes, you can find me at PsychicSusanna.com, or you can go to my Facebook at Life with Psychic Suzanna. And yes, we want you to belong to the Facebook, so we get your ideas. We want to hear your feedback on the show. So please join us at Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook. Now, I thought Becky was pretty cool. I thought that was an interesting conversation. I love the fact that she said people are our largest assets. So right now, I'm going to go to our largest asset out there, and that's our listeners. Please be aware. You can give us a call at 1110 KFAB at 558-1110 or 1-800-543-1110, and we're going to look in your future, always remembering the power is in the moment. Anything a psychic or anybody else sees in your life can be changed because the power relies in you. So we're going to go to the phone. I think we have a Jill. Is that correct?
Hi, Susanna.
Hi, Jill. Jill, how old are you?
I'm 45.
45. Now, Jill, first of all, I want you to know, are you aware that you have a tendency to worry quite a bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you know what I call worry?
No.
I call worry an insult to God.
Okay.
Every thought you have hangs around your energy, okay? So you're walking around, Jill, and you're thinking thoughts that might not be supportive of you or supportive of your future. And when people walk up to you, they can sense your thoughts, whether you know it or not. So when you give attention to worry, you make it bigger. So I'm going to suggest you sort of watch your thoughts a little bit more. The thing that I love about you is you have more common sense in your little toe than most people. Are you aware of that?
That sounds good.
Well, no. Are you not aware of that?
I feel like I have common sense. Yeah.
Are you not aware that people come up to you to ask you questions and look for your nurturing ability? You're not aware of that?
Well, I lead people at work, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Honey, you do this naturally. I mean, strangers are comforted with your smile and your actions. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
I want you to know you are respected at work.
Well,
and I also want you to know your job is very secure. Okay?
That's good.
I also want you to know you can expect some kind of financial improvement around March and April for you. Okay?
Yeah.
That'll be on a steady basis. Right now, seems to be a little bit of sneaky money that is going to be coming from your past. That's going to be before the end of the year. Please don't forget, Jim and I get 10% on that one, all right?
Sure.
Okay. By the way, what is your son's name?
I don't have any kids.
Aha. There's a young man who thinks of you as a mother. Is that someone you work with? No, this is someone from your past.
Okay.
First of all, I want you to know there will be children that'll call you Mom.
Okay.
So figure that one out on your own time. I'm not going to have to.
All right.
But there is a young man from your past who thinks of you in a mother way. He's going to be coming forward before the end of the year and tell you how good you have been to him and how helpful you were.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a question for me, Jill?
I'm trying to plan, a big trip, and I'm apprehensive. I mean, you kind of answered it earlier because you talked about that my job was secure, but I'm just trying to see if I should make the expenditure.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure the trip is going to be what you think it'll be.
Okay.
Okay? And so I'm not sure you'll get the result you want from it.
Okay.
I do feel another trip. Now, you're thinking before the end of the year, correct?
No, I was thinking January, February time frame.
Okay. I do feel another trip, and it might be by the end of the year.
Okay.
And it may not be as far, but it's going to be as exciting, and you're going to go to something.
Okay.
So I do feel good about it. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the question you have to ask on anything in your life.
All right.
Would you regret it if you didn't do it? And that's the question.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
With everything out. You know, if someone came up to you, Jill, today and say, you know what, I'm going to give you a round trip around the world. A trip around the world, all expenses paid.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to leave on Sunday. Would you go?
Yeah.
All right. Then that's pretty healthy. Okay? That's pretty healthy, Jill. Okay? Good girl. We'll talk later. God bless.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Bye-bye. And who do we have on the phone, Jim?
We have the one and only Karen.
All right. Good morning, Karen. Good afternoon, Karen. Good evening. You know, I always say morning at times at night, and that's basically because it's the morning of your life. We're always beginning with each breath. We empower the moment, and we empower our life. So we are always beginning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Karen. How old are you, dear? Hello? Jim? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. I'm here. I know where I'm at. Waiting for Jim. Hello?
You know what, Suzanna? Let's try maybe another caller. It doesn't look like Karen's working out. Let's go with...
I just heard Karen, honey. Jim?
Let's go with line 2 and see if Joe comes through.
Joe, are you there? Uh-oh. Jim, I think there's a button.
I think you're right. Let's take a commercial break, Suzanna.
Okay. We're going to find those darn buttons. There's so many colors. Let's go to a break, and then we'll be right back. On Life with Psychic
Susanna on 1110 KFAB.
Hi, you're back with Life with Psychic Susanna on 1110 KFAB. Yes, you can find me at PsychicSusanna.com or Life with Psychic Susanna Facebook. Please feel free to go there. Join our Facebook, become part of the family, let us know what you're thinking. And before we go to the phones, Jim, are you behaving yourself tonight?
Oh, I'm trying to.
Trying.
It's always a difficult task, you know.
Well, it is. And you know this, Jim, working with me is, you know, you were nice and all by yourself in the studio and always behaved yourself by yourself. Now with me in the studio, you've got more buttons to do and everything. I hope you know how much I relish you being there for me.
Okay, well, we'll see. You might be relishing, hopefully you'll continue to relish.
I will continue to relish, and if we don't get the calls because of some dumb buttons,
Okay.
too many buttons in the world, we'll talk, because we've got a lot to talk about, because this is a show about living in the moment and growing and making things work even when things don't seem to want to work. Okay?
Outstanding!
All right, baby, let's go to the phone. Shall we try it?
Let's go for it.
All right. Who do we have on the air?
I think we have Brad. Let's see if it works.
Brad?
Hey, Suzanna.
He did the right button, Brad.
He did.
He did, Brad.
How
that
are
Jim's
you?
Jim's pretty handy.
I
Brad,
had to
you're
call
calling
all the way
from Minneapolis?
and congratulate you on having your own program. You were with me many nights on CCO in the Twin Cities, and you're a radio natural.
Well, thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Brad, while we're at it, though, you're not going to get away with that. Let me give me your age, please. And
Okay.
I am honored to know you, Brad, by the way.
You got me. All right. I am 58.
Okay. Brad, I'm going to tell you, first of all, one of the things I want you to look at is some insurance communication that needs a little bit of attention. This is going to be within 2 months. I think it's just paperwork that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Okay? I am also going to tell you some kind of communication with a town that starts with the letter L, like Lake something.
Okay.
You're in Minnesota. My God, that's got to be all over the place. But someplace starting with Lake, there is going to be money coming from you from the Lake area.
Okay.
And that's going to be within 5 months, and I feel very good about that. I also want you to know that this coming year, Brad, you can expect 2 family additions, not 1, but 2. Congratulations. Thank you for listening, and I'll look forward to your feedback.
Hey, congratulations on your radio program.
All right. God bless.
Thanks, Susanna.
Bye-bye. Jim?
Yes, Susanna, I think we should try another line and get Karen on the air. What do you think?
Well, first, Jim, I want to tell you that was from Minneapolis.
That is awesome.
Do you know our 800 number goes everywhere?
Yeah, I kind of figured it would.
Who thought about that? I'm still with the tin cans and the strings.
Okay, well, you've got to advance your technology.
Okay, all right, I will, all right. And our 800 number is what again, Jim? 800-543-1110?
Bingo.
And our home number is 558-1110?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, my gosh. We're just a team, and we got the buttons working. Let's go.
Fingers are crossed.
Okay. Who do we have?
Let's go, Karen.
Karen! You're there! Karen, you're listening to the radio, aren't you? Karen, don't listen to the radio. Hello? Calling? 1, 2, 3. Karen.
Okay, Susanna. Sounds like Karen just wants to listen to her radio. We could possibly try Joe.
Well, you know why they can't listen to the radio. Do you know why, Jim?
Oh, we got, what, a 9.5-second delay?
That's exactly right. So she's looking for us to talk to her, and we're already talking.
That's right. Hey,
Always
maybe we should
hang
take a
on
break
to
and
the
then we can
phone,
get back.
everyone. All right, who do we have now, Jim?
Let's go with Joe.
All right, Joe, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
And you're on the phone and you're listening. I love that.
Yes,
Joe, how old are you?
45.
All right. Now, Joe, first of all, are you aware that you're very traditional?
Yes,
And your word is your bond?
correct.
And when you say it, it's been said. Okay?
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of times, though, Jim, just between you and me, you're not Jim. Say your name one more time.
Joe.
Joe. A lot of times, Joe, when you say something and you stop listening, people think you don't care. And I know that's not true, Joe. You're a very caring guy. But you have to work a little bit more on patience. And you have to work on communication a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
You know what the rule with communication is?
No.
You do it while you're above the ground.
Oh.
Woo! It's a great time to do it. Now, Joe, I'm going to say a job change for you that I like. How do you feel about that statement?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. It's going to be within 4 months, maybe 4 weeks, but it's going to be a natural change. And it's going to be nothing too major, but something a little bit, and I feel very good about it, okay?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Now, what is your daughter's name?
I don't have a daughter.
Boy, I'm hitting it with children. Do you have a stepdaughter?
Nope, I don't.
You will. Are you still married?
No, I'm not.
Guess what? The daughter that I'm picking up for you. Now, I know this is going to seem strange, Joe, but before we choose life, we choose all our family members. Okay?
Okay.
The next relationship that you will have in your 46th year will have a daughter that is predestined to be in your life and will love you. And here's the thing that I want you to know, Joe. It's that communication thing. Because you do know the mother of your future children. She is around you now, but, honey, she doesn't know you because you're not communicating. Okay?
Okay.
Now, did you hear about our last conversation with Becky? Where it says people are our greatest and largest, best asset?
Yes.
Reach out, Joe. They need to know you. You're that good guy. Okay? Before that, check your tires, though. We'll be right back with Life with Suzanne, Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.
Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. She knew I was going to say that.
Yes, you're right where you need to be on the radio online class with Life with Psychic Suzanna at 1110 KFAB. Yes, this is the show that is going to have speakers on every week that will help empower you to handle every situation in your life. We're looking for people to resonate with you, and we will help them. Like a wonderful doctor last week who told us how to handle a tantrum in a child, and the wonderful guy we had the week before that told us how to help handle someone in our family with alcoholism. You know, all the shows are online. You can get them at psychicsusanna.com. Or you can go to 1110 KFAB. They probably will be online after Wednesday. But be sure and check out the old classes. The last shows we've had, everything is here to help you, to empower you. Pass the word. They want to be listening with Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB. Do we have someone on the phone, Jim?
Hopefully Zelta will want to talk to us.
All right, Zelta. What a great name. Zelta, where'd you get the name from?
My mother gave it to me.
And does it mean anything?
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, listen only on the phone, Zelta. Okay? How old are you?
I'm 74.
Okay. First of all, I've got to tell you that there is going to be a lot of reunions this year. So get some long-lasting lipstick on, some good shoes. You're going to be traveling and doing a whole bunch of things, okay?
Oh, thank you.
I'm also going to tell you that money out of the blue is going to be in the mail before the end of the year. Plan on that.
I could use some, I tell you.
Well, it's coming. All right.
Do you have any news
Jim?
about my health?
Well, your health is not as bad as you think it is. Okay?
Oh, that's good.
And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be around at 82 and having a good birthday party then.
Oh, how wonderful.
All right. Jim?
Yeah, we got Fred.
All right, Fred. Hello, Fred.
Hello?
Fred, how old are you?
I'm 49.
49. Fred, are you out in the wind? Where are you, Fred?
I'm in my garage. I can hear you now.
Okay. Sounds like you're panting and in the wind, young man. Stay in one spot so we can be sure not lose you. Fred, I'm going to tell you, you've had about 4 horrible, rough years, haven't you? Fred? You got me?
Hello?
Hello, Fred. All right, we're going to have landlines, but let me just tell you, Fred, the last 4 years have been completely tough on you. It is going to be getting better for you, especially after January. A little bit more trauma before the end of the year. Fred, I don't think you realize how important you are to a lot of people. And whether you have money in your pocket or a velvet seats in your car, you are important, and I need you to remember that a little bit, okay? There is also going to be weight loss and health improvements for you. We'll look forward. Stay tuned and listen to Life with Psychic Suzanna. We're going to have things on that'll be important for you, okay? Next week, Jim, guess who we're having?
I have no idea.
Of course you don't. You're not psychic. I am, all right? We're going to have Dr. Richard Moss. He wrote a lot of books. He's an international lecturer. He's going to give us some more hints of how to handle our life and how to get things better as we go along. Please remember, everyone, you can check us out on the internet at psychicsusanna.com or Life with Psychic Suzanna on Facebook. Please join us. Jim, I want to tell you it's been wonderful being with you tonight, and all these lighted buttons. How fun were they?
Oh, my goodness. They were lit up like the proverbial, the Christmas tree. Proverbial. Can't even talk. I'm so excited about it.
And next week, we'll be right back here with Dr. Moss. You pass the word. You want to be with us every week as we're on 1110 KFAB.
This is Life with Psychic Suzanna on 1110 KFAB.